Welcome to Motherology, an opportunity to discuss all things motherhood, all the ups and downs and roundabouts and crazy. An opportunity for us to grow and tell our stories and become the best mums we can be, not because I'm going to tell you what to do, but because we're going to figure out how awesome we really are. Well, I'd like to challenge you. We've come to soften my heart. This is such a personal song. Obviously, all of them are. I know I've said it before, but it's such a necessary song for how we are able to receive and give the love that we've been talking about, how we're able to become the person that we know we are meant to become, how to find the identity that we are longing to find. There's this amazing journey we can go on. And I say amazing on purpose. Like, it's hard, but it's amazing. It's unto something. There's something coming that's really good for you, but there is a process we have to go through. Like, ladies, if you've given birth, there's a process you have to go through. There's a process of conception, gestation, birth, and nurture when it comes to having a baby. And I actually think that a lot of life has a similar pattern, but we often stop before the gestation is fully matured and complete. We often say, I'm done. No, this is too hard. I don't want to have to go through the process of what is to come. I don't want to have to do the thing that has to be done to get the result that I know is on the other side of this difficult thing. But it's too hard. I'm not going to do it. If you have had a baby, or if you have looked after a child, or if you have had anything to do with the nurture of someone younger than you, I suggest that you've done something really difficult already, and that you are capable of way more than you realize. You might think you don't have the capacity. You might think, I don't have the ability to go through something hard. I've done that. I had a baby and I don't have to do it again, so I'm not gonna. But there's a process of life. There's a process of creativity. There's a process of becoming for us as mothers, as grown-ups, as individuals, as humans, that involves a conception of an idea or an ideal or a desire or a dream. That's the easy part, often, if you're fertile. Sometimes the conception is exceptionally difficult if you're going through infertility. So it can be really hard. It can be really easy, but there is a conception moment that happens, and it leads to gestation. And sometimes, as we've talked about in this journey with these songs, sometimes once gestation starts, it can be ended not by you. Sometimes it's not meant to be. Something comes along and takes it away. Something happens. That is true of our dreams. That is true of life. That is true of relationships. That is true of our own becoming. Sometimes it doesn't reach its full maturity. And sometimes it's just that we have to try again. Sometimes it's that thing, that one, wasn't meant to be. So there's no harm in keeping trying. If it doesn't work first time, just try again. We've got to get into the habit of overcoming. We've got to get into the habit of understanding that life doesn't have to all be convenient. It doesn't have to be easy. Often for a lot of people, it's really, really hard. And if we can get used to the idea that we get to do these things, not that things happen to us or that we have to do something, that we get to do them, that we shift our attitude, the mindsets we were talking about, we get to shift them into a positive spin on something that might be difficult, then we can achieve unbelievable things. Truly unbelievable things. Overcome unbelievable things. And part of the journey of that is vulnerability. And for a lot of people, that's really, really hard. But if you've had a baby naturally, you've had your legs in the air, you've had everybody looking at your bits, in that moment, who cares? Just help me get this baby out, okay? This is what we're here for. All the other stuff doesn't matter. People have done this to me so many times now with all the babies I've had. Doesn't matter. I'm grateful to know how many centimeters dilated I was. Somebody had to do that to me to find out. It's all good. In the moment of it, it's all good. Beforehand, you're like, I don't want to have this many people in the room, and I want to make sure I'm all covered up, and I want to make sure nobody's looking at me and seeing me like that. Now, there are rules. Great. Keep the rules. My husband stayed at my head end. He stayed right here. He's not seeing all of this. He needs to like this. Stay here. There are some people that shouldn't see that, but most people in the room, I'm like, I'm never going to see you again. What do you need to do? Help me out. Let's get this baby out. And when it actually comes to the moment of birth of your dreams, when it comes to the moment of birth of your identity, of like fully grounding yourself in that love, when it comes to that moment, you have to be deeply vulnerable and deeply bold and confident. Thinking about it beforehand is scary. Thinking about it beforehand engenders fear often, but in the moment of it, in the messiness of it, you just get on with it. So my challenge to you is, will you get on with the moment of birth, having gestated something, some of you, for years? It's reached maturity. And if you don't get it out of you, it's going to die. You've got to allow this person that you know you are somewhere inside of all of this. You've got to allow those dreams and those ideas and ideals that you've had for yourself, despite and because of having children, to allow it to be born and to go through the birthing process of whatever it is that you're holding inside you that requires the softening of your heart and your cervix. Sorry, I couldn't resist. There is a softening that has to happen for birth to happen. And this song is about the softening of my heart. When I got to this place where I was like, my heart is hard. I'm angry. I'm kind of mad a lot of the time. I'm feeling kind of crazy and not feeling like being soft and gentle and loving right now. I realized that being hard-hearted was only going to hurt me, and hurt people. So I was like, okay, if I'm hard-hearted, I'm angry, I'm just going to be angry with everyone, and everyone's going to be miserable. What a great way to live. It's not a great way to live. It's not a great way to live. It's not a happy place for anybody, particularly the person who has the hard heart. It's actually awful. It's actually miserable. It's lonely, because community and intimacy and relationship and growth requires vulnerability. It requires an opening of the hard places, sometimes a hammering and a cracking and a bit of a chisel to get into that hard place, to be able to have the softness. And I'm not talking about femininity. I'm not talking about pink and flowers. Not my fave. I love flowers. I love pink, but not a fan of that being the definition of femininity and womanhood. I like physics. So there is a softness, and I'm, again, not talking about femininity, I'm talking about generally a softness of heart that makes you vulnerable and able to become open to receive the love you need, to become the person you want to become, to receive the identity you've been longing for that is outside of all the things that can change. And this is how we do it. Sometimes we just have to get on our knees and pray, because sometimes we just don't know what to do. Soften my heart, soften my heart. And this first verse is from all indifference. Like, I have become numb to some things. I have chosen to ignore the fact that there's pain in my heart. I'm choosing to ignore that someone did something bad to me. I'm indifferent to it. It's almost like the worst form of neglect for children is to be ignored. Obviously, physical and sexual abuse is horrific, but when you have neglect, there's nothing to pin your hat on. There's no bruise. There's no like, I was hit. It was, I didn't exist. I wasn't important enough. And when we can feel like that about ourselves, we can often do it to our own situations. Like, doesn't matter, not important. It doesn't exist. I am indifferent to this thing, but it's not true. You're not indifferent. You are different. No, it's not a word. It doesn't work in that context, does it? You can't be indifferent and different. You are aware. You are indifferent or you are aware. You are able to see. You are opening your eyes to recognize the things that you have closed yourself off to. Soften my heart from all indifference, from all the pain, from all the sorrow. Because there isn't a human that has ever existed that hasn't had pain or sorrow. That often causes the indifference or causes the hardness of heart in the first place. Not one. Not one. I challenge you to find me an individual human who has never been through something difficult. We all have varying degrees of pain and suffering and sorrow in our lives. Some have far worse stories than others. But all of us have something or many, many things that have affected us and that have caused us pain. And if we will soften our hearts and allow those indifferent places, those hard places, those places of pain and sorrow to be revealed, to be washed clean again, to be forgiven, to forgive, to love, to be loved, then we can soften our heart even more. And we can begin to open ourselves up to something greater and bigger and better and more amazing once we deal with that pain, once we deal with that sorrow, once we deal with the indifference and the hardness. We are beginning to then open up to the point where we can go, oh, I can be loved. And the second verse is about, I want to love you, God, the way you love me. So show me how you love me. Show me how you love me. That was a prayer I prayed for 3 months straight. Didn't pray anything else. Nothing else happened in my conversations with God. I was so desperate to understand that I was loved utterly, that I took, and it was an incredibly scary step. Talk about the thought of something being scary. I was terrified because something inside me knew that the answer would be that I was loved, but there was this horrible, horrible dark feeling that I was going to ask, show me how much you love me. And he was going to go, well, I don't actually. So don't know why you're asking. Fear is a liar. It's a lie. It's a lie. And when you've believed a lie for long enough, it can feel like the only truth that is real. It's a liar. Fear lies. Love is truthful. Love is sometimes hard because it's truthful. Sometimes it's painful to receive love because it's going to tell the truth to us. It's going to show us where we're struggling. It's going to show us where we have pain. And it's going to put a finger on that pain. It's going to go, you have an open wound. It's in your heart, but imagine you have a big old gash in your arm and it's the wound has never been tended to. It's never been dressed. It's never been cleaned out, and it's full of gravel, and eventually it actually becomes full of maggots, and it starts getting disgusting, and it starts causing an infection in your arm, which starts causing sepsis in your blood, which can kill you. If you have a wound in your heart that doesn't get tended to, it can literally infect your entire being, your entire life, a single wound. But if you take the time, when you know that wound is there, and it might be disgusting at this point because nobody's ever cleaned it out. You've never taken the time to ask someone to help you clean it out because it is too hard to do it on your own. You need help. And you've got to get rid of the dirt and the grime, and you've got to get rid of the maggots and the infection. You've got to put ointments on it. You've got to get stitched up. It hurts to dress a wound. It's painful, but the short-term pain is the long-term gain, because that wound can then heal and the rest of your body stays fine. So if you have a wounded heart, you have to go through the pain of healing. Healing is painful, no question. Sometimes you think you're losing your mind, it's so painful. But when that wound is tended to, when it's cleaned out, when there's salve and ointment and love put inside it to heal what's been rotten in there, then it's stitched up. It might leave a mark. It might be a reminder of what you've been through. It's a reminder of the goodness that has been offered to you in this moment of healing. That scar will always be a reminder that you are healed. And the scars on our hearts are reminders to us of how we can understand and help others that are going through something similar that we have now overcome. Brilliant, beautiful. That's what we want. We are mums. To love and to nurture and to care for and to be open is a beautiful, wonderful thing. Wonderful thing. So being able to receive that love, like it says in verse 2, I want to love you how you love me. Here are my knees. Soften my heart, Lord. I want to be loved. I want to go through the pain of healing to receive that love. And then in the third verse, we're like saying, so I can see you, so I can walk with you, so I can live my life a different way, so that I can go arm in arm with God. I can go arm in arm with people who love me. I can be arm in arm with people who are healthy for me. I can be arm in arm with those who have my best interests at heart. And I can have the love I need for myself to be able to walk through this life with grace, to walk through this life with peace. Peace that passes all understanding. I can walk through every single circumstance rooted and grounded in love. If we will exist in that beautiful place of love, if we will exist because it's available to us, if we will exist in the secret place where all things can be revealed to us in private, in the quiet, we can literally do anything and go anywhere. The process is hard. It's like birth. It's hard. It can last longer than you want it to. It can be more painful than you want it to be. And there are ways of making it easier. And if you need that, take it. But there are incredible stories that have not yet been written because the birth hasn't yet happened. So all the things that are inside you, all the ideas, the dreams, the identity, everything that you know is there and isn't quite fitting and not quite happening yet, just sing this song. Just sing along. Soften my heart, Lord, soften my heart. Because from that place of softening, then comes the birth, then comes the healing, then comes the ability to be complete and whole. That hasn't been there before. And because you know what it is to have a baby, most of you, you know what it's like to nurture a child, you know what it's like to be in that place of the impossibility of getting through another day, and you did it. You know what it is to be able to do it because you've done it before. So you can do it again. You absolutely can. You absolutely can. And now you can do it for your stories. You can do it for your businesses. You can do it for the home that you want to live in. You can do it in all the ways in which you have thought you couldn't do things, all the things you want. You actually can. You can do it. But it takes healing, it takes vulnerability, it takes change, it takes sitting inside the difficulty. It really does. And I'm gonna say this with love, speaking the truth with love, because love does speak the truth. Part of the reason I think we shy away from pushing through difficult things is because and I call them overdeveloped countries, where we've got way more than we need, we can be coddled into thinking that we shouldn't have to go through anything difficult. We shouldn't have to feel pain. We shouldn't have to suffer. That's not my portion. That's not how I should live. I don't know where it comes from. I think it just comes from a desire to avoid all things difficult, because we were promised trials and tribulations in Scripture. So I'm not sure why we think an easy life is the inheritance that we are promised. It's not. But we can avoid difficulty. But in avoiding difficulty and pain, we end up not becoming who we were always meant to be, or not doing the things that we were born to do. Because those things require an endurance and a resilience and a suffering and an ability to push through. Honestly, I'm fully aware that I'm a complete weirdo. That is not a revelation to me. It really isn't. I've always known that I am not normal. I'm very happy with that fact. I chose to have drug-free and intervention-free births. Obviously, I had healthy babies. I was healthy. No medical intervention necessary. No umbilical cords wrapped around necks. No surgeries necessary. Very, very fortunate. Very fortunate, very blessed, very grateful. But I wanted to have completely drug-free births because I wanted to go through it. I wanted to know that I could do it. I wanted to feel what it was to birth a child because I knew I had a bunch of other things in my life that I needed to birth, and I needed to know what that felt like. And when it comes to some of those things, there is help, but you can't fully numb yourself to the pain of what it is to birth something when epidurals aren't available for our hearts. Again, I have nothing against epidurals, cesareans, nothing. Medical intervention is amazing. Lots of people get saved through the medical profession. Please don't take it the wrong way. But my choice as me, as Jessie, as a woman, as a mother, was to go through what it is to birth a child and to feel all of it. Because then I knew I would have the power to do anything I put my mind to. If you've been through birth with elective cesareans because you're too posh to push, good for you. You are still capable of all kinds of impossibly difficult things, and many of you have done them. It doesn't mean that if you didn't have natural childbirth, you can't do difficult things. I needed that personally for myself. I needed to know that I could go through that and that I could do it and that I could push that baby out. And that then I would know that I could push all kinds of other things out of my soul. It's very poetic, slightly gross imaging, but it's true. It isn't necessary, but it is true for me. It was a necessary thing for me. Hopefully, this doesn't make you feel like you're a failure in any way. I don't think you are. I think you're amazing. I think you're amazing, and I think that you are capable of incredible, incredible things. Just keep pushing through. Think of Dory. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, da 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 da. Soften my heart, Lord. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to reach the end. I'm going to find the things that I have been longing for. If I will push through to what is necessary, if I will receive the help that is necessary, if I will be vulnerable enough to do the things that I have to do, if I will be resilient enough. So many good things waiting for you. So many good things waiting for you. Well done. I'm very proud of you before you've done it. I'm very proud of you because I know you're amazing.